Bassmaster Elite Series, Santee Cooper, and expect a freak show or maybe multiple freak shows. I think we're going to see some 30-pound bags, probably some 9, 10-pound bass weight, and it should be an exciting event, one of the best events to watch all year. Coming off a great week at Lake Murray, I don't think we're going to see the numbers in the solid like 14 to 16-pound bags, but I think the upper end weights will be just as good, if not a touch better, and the big bags and the big bass will be bigger. But I think you're going to see some guys struggle a little bit, and you're going to see kind of a little more spread of the haves and the have-nots here at Santee Cooper this week. A little more post-spawn, but I think there'll still be plenty of fish on the bed, so I think you're going to see some anglers balancing that act of fishing for spawning fish they can see, ones they can't see, and also just fishing the vast vegetation, cypress trees, and other offshore and shallow cover at Santee Cooper. I think we might see things like frogs play, topwater, shad spawn, swim jigs, Senkos, wacky rigs, all kinds of stuff. A lot of things at play this week at Santee Cooper. Myself, starting to turn the season around. We're climbing back up into the green here in fantasy fishing, so that's looking good, and we're making a big comeback. As for the Beat HellaBass group, if you haven't joined yet, you still can join. Password is VISOR. There will be a link down in the description, or you can just go to Bassmaster.com and search HellaBass and find the group and join the fun. And that will make you eligible to earn prizes from chattyboys.com and earn gift cards at every event for both fantasy fishing and Drain the Lake, plus some great year-end prizes provided by chattyboys.com. Thanks to them for supporting the channel and the fantasy fishing group. As far as this week, in the regular fantasy fishing, top winner D Moore, go Bucks. I sent you an email, but it bounced back. So if you're watching, make sure you send me another note so I can get you your prize back out. And then C Shulp Dog, your email sent, your prize should be going as soon as you can reply back, and you'll be getting your chattyboys.com gift card, and you can get yourself hooked up with some great deals on marine electronics, tackle, and lots of other offerings for your boat and fishing at chattyboys.com. Looking at the weather for this event, it looks like it's going to be on a decent mild to warming trend, not super sunny, not super hot, a little bit of wind, a little bit of cloud mix. So that's going to probably put a little bit of a damper on sight fishing because there's going to be a little bit of wind and there's going to be some clouds. But I think guys like Drew Cook and Drew Benton, those experts, will still find some big bedding fish and they will cash in on them. But I don't know if it's enough to carry anybody for all 4 days, but we're definitely going to find out. Moving on to the picks, and then we'll look at Drain the Lake. Make sure you get your picks in by Wednesday night or early Thursday morning so you don't miss out. If you're worried about not getting your lineups in, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell notification. That way, these videos will remind you to get all of your fantasy fishing lineups in every week. Bucket E, like to start down there. Bucket E, build ourselves up to the big guns in Bucket A. Brian New, because he's from South Carolina, getting lots of love. I'm not so sure. He had a pretty rough event at Murray. He hung me out to drive at Seminole, and he needs to not suck, and we need to suck less, so I'm staying away from Brian New this week. Poche getting some love after missing the Murray event. He's definitely got that shallow water prowess. And he's probably got the boat best equipped to get around all those stumps on Santee Cooper. Pipkins, Heron, a few others getting lots of love. But I'm actually going to go way down percentage-wise, and I'm going with David Williams. He had a really pretty bad event, and he's not been super great in the Bassmaster Elite Series since his return. And actually, but his best finish since he's been back in the last year and a half was on Santee Cooper, in which he got a 28th. And if I got 28th out of my E bucket, I'd be ecstatic. Swim jigging, spinnerbait, flipping jig should line up to his strengths, and he does have quite a bit of success here on both Bassmaster and in the old previous FLW Tour MLF on Santee Cooper. So I'm going to take a flyer on Dave Williams and hope he pays off this week. Bucket D, we got Jason Christie here. He's a big name, lots of percentage. Locals like Todd Otten, big bait guy Zaldane. You have two-time defending classic champ Hank Cherry here. KG Queen, a pretty good sight fisherman. I think he's a sneaky good pick if you're looking for somebody a little bit lower on the radar. Back in the day, Brad Halm had one of his best events ever on Santee Cooper. You've got a couple Louisiana guys that are very familiar with cypress trees, Caleb Summerall and Logan Latuso. So if you're looking for something maybe a little sneaker, a little dark horse, guys that know how to dissect cypress trees could be really good here at Santee Cooper. But I'm going with Wisconsinite, Kalen Kufal. He took second here last spring, not sight fishing at all, fishing jigs and spinnerbaits and things like that, and power fishing. Now that we're a little more advanced, less fish on the bed, it should play into his strengths even more. So we'll see if he can pull off another big event here. I don't know if it's going to be over 100 pounds again, but we'll see if he can challenge for the win this week and get a nice top 10, which would be sweet out of Bucket D. Bucket C, we got some big names here. We got a Johnson brother. We got Robertson. We got Gussie here coming off a classic. Prosnick could be really good here. I think prowess with a wacky rig in the springtime, post-spawn, spawning fish could be really good. I like J Powell a lot here. Seth Fighter surging up now in bucket C. Jake Witter, no stranger to the Senko and the Wacky Rig. He could be sneaky. John Cruz, pretty good. His neck of the country, lots of good options here. But Palaniuk, first and a third in his last 2 appearances at Santee Cooper. And you don't get to pick Brandon Palaniuk in bucket C very often. And I would expect he'll be in bucket A or bucket B next week. So cash in while the cash in is good. And I'm going Palaniuk. Bucket B, South Carolina guy Jason Williams, Tower of Power, coming off a nice top 10 championship Sunday on Lake Murray. Could be good. I like Swindle here. He's pretty good. Young fisherman, post spawn. This is like kind of his wheelhouse, the time of year to be picking Gerald's. Swindle, you got Lexter, Shryock, tons of good options here. Scott Martin, but I'm going with Stephen Kennedy. Kennedy, very strong on Santee Cooper. Now, I got a top 5 out of him early in the year at Okeechobee out of bucket E. I'm a little nervous because if you played fantasy fishing long enough, Steve Kennedy is a dicey proposition, but I feel pretty confident this week at Santee Cooper. I'm probably going to use him one more time. Hope he gets me a top 10, and then we're putting him on the shelf for the rest of the year, and maybe we'll break him out of his shiny little toy case again in 2024. Finally, bucket A, where the big guns are. You got Cobb leading the percentage after his top 10, and knowing Murray pretty good. Walters right on his heels. Cook, the defending champs. You got John Cox here. You got Hackney, Benton, Jocumson, all guys that have done very well. Rivette, who's in the top 5 in Angler of the Year points. No stranger to cypress trees. So many good options. It's really hard to pick a bad pick here in bucket A, but I'm going Patty Walters. Going to be strong here. He's going to be able to fish for fish that aren't on beds. He's going to do a lot of off-the-wall things, sneaky stuff, and I think this post spawn is going to be even better. And he grew up on this lake. He went to college on Lake Murray. It sounds like back-to-back top 10s for Patrick Walters, and he climbs his way back into the AOI race this week. Tiebreaker, I think low 90s. I'm going 92 pounds, 3 ounces. I don't think we're going to hit 100 pounds. It could happen, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be like high 80s, low 90s, much like Lake Murray, maybe a little better because you do have those bigger like 7, 8, 9, 10 pound bass in Santee Cooper that will push guys up and just, we'll see, I think more of that like 27, 28, maybe 30 pound bags here that'll just push somebody up and then they can get by with like a 18, 19, 22 pound bag the other days and kind of get up in that stratosphere of the high 80s, low 90s. Moving on to Drain the Lake. Drain the Lake. We're doing a little better here. We're up in the dark green, so that's always fantastic. Put together a Santee Cooper team here. All right, we're going to start out who we already talked about here. We talked about Steve Kennedy. We talked about Caleb Kufal. We're double dipping a couple of these picks. For some reason, I'm feeling sneaky about Lee Livesey here. Not sure why. KG Queen, we're going to take him for his sight fishing prowess. Hopefully he can pull off a solid event here. Pat Schlopper, going to go with him. As well as Hunter Shryock coming off a second place finish, riding that momentum, fishing shallow. And then just go down the list and we're going to go with Wentland and Walters to round out our 8. And that is going to be our Drain the Lake lineup right there. Kennedy, Kufal, Livesey, Queen, Schlopper, Shryock, Wentland, and Walters. We have failed to pick a winner yet this year, and we need to get that winner right. Hopefully Walters is my guy, gets us back in to the that boost we need in those double points in Drain the Lake. Again, thanks to chattyboys.com. Link down in the description below if you want to check out chattyboys.com and support the channel. And if you're ate up with fantasy fishing like the rest of you that are watching and me, make sure you check out this video on the screen right here.